What's up, everyone? Welcome to Investing with Adam. I'm your host, Adam, and today we are talking about wedge deals. What's a wedge deal? Let's find out. So, if you're thinking about buying a home in Edmonton or the surrounding area, and you're not too sure what's going to happen because property prices haven't really changed too much in the last decade on average, and you're not too sure if it's going to stay average, if it's going to go down a little bit more, and you'd like a little bit more safety in knowing that you're not going to lose money the minute you purchase your property. So an option I'm going to present to you is something I like to call a wedge deal. The basic, simple, easy explanation is a wedge deal is a home that you buy that is currently for sale below its potential market value, but with a little bit of cosmetic work, cosmetic being the key term, with a little bit of cosmetic work, you can bring that property up to its future market value or potential market value and not be out of the bank. And then if you get it low enough, you renovate it to this point, then you have that gap in between. And I'll illustrate that better for you on the whiteboard. So this is our lovely wedge property. And what we're shooting for, this is the potential market value, is this line here. And what we're looking for is we're looking to get a better marker here. We're looking to get a property somewhere around here. And then what we do with that property is we do little things like carpet, like paint, like some flooring, maybe some cabinets, and things like that that buyers really usually care about. But we don't want to buy the houses that need massive work on shingles or full exterior redos or windows, all these heavy duty, high expense items the buyers usually aren't willing to pay much for. So what we buy is we buy the houses that ideally already have new windows, already have newer shingles, already have their systems upgraded, and all they really need is the cosmetic work. And then we renovate them to this point, which gives you this little buffer here as your safety net. So what this is doing is you're buying in this wedge. You're buying in between what it's worth now and what it could be worth if you did a little bit of work to it. The biggest key factor to this is don't over renovate. What that means is don't go and buy a marker back out here. Don't go and buy a house that's worth future value or potential market value of $300,000. There we go. So if you go buy something that's potential future value is $300,000 and you buy it for $250,000 and then you go and put $80,000 into this gorgeous custom kitchen that belongs in South Terwilliger or in Windermere or somewhere that you can get a house that is worth that, or that you will put a kitchen. Like you buy a house that's worth $1 million, yeah, you'll put $80,000 into that kitchen potentially. In a house like this little guy right here, this wedge deal, you're not going to put $80,000 into a kitchen. You're going to put maybe $10,000 into a kitchen. And we'll teach you more about buying effectively and strategies to get better deals on hardware and cabinets and renovations, things like that. We'll dive into that more on another show here. But for right now, we're just talking about the details. So you're going to buy a house for $250,000. You're going to do maybe a $10,000 kitchen. You might spend $5,000 on flooring somewhere in that market. And you're going to try and do some of this work yourself if possible, because it'll also help you save some money. But you do those things, you do some paint, and those other details, you spend maybe $25,000 on all the interior work, all the updates, all the changes, things like that. And now you have a house that you put $25,000 into, you bought for $250,000, but it's valued at close to $300,000, which gives you a little bit of a wedge. It gives you built-in equity in that home right after you buy it and put your work into it. And the plus to that is instead of going out and only shopping for and buying these gorgeously renovated homes that are beautiful, top quality, is they're at their max value. So you can't really do a whole lot to improve that home's value. So with these wedge properties, you buy the house at a lower value than it could get. You do the renovations that also you like, so you're getting the home you really want. You can pick the paint colors, you can pick the cabinets, you can pick these things. Again, keep the budgets tiny. But at least this way, you're building equity in your home right off the bat. You're doing some renos that make the home yours, and you build some equity. I'm sure I said that numerous times, but that's the important part, is you're building equity right from the beginning to protect you from a drop, to give you a bit more equity if you decide to borrow against it, or if you decide to refinance it in the future. It gives you a little bit more of a safety net, and it's just adding value. So you're buying a house for $250, you spend $275 on it, but it's worth $300. So you automatically, you're buying into $25,000 in extra equity, which is not a bad thing to have. Next step is, where do I find these wedge deals? Well, the simple thing is you can go online right now and you'll probably find 150 to 200 of them available right now for sale in the Edmonton market and surrounding areas. I see them come into my inbox. I get emails every morning because I have searches set up that show me wedge deals. What we're finding right now is we're getting a lot of estate sales. We're getting a lot of lifetime homes, people that have been in these homes for 30, 40, 60 years and have never moved. And what this generation likes to do is they like to do the windows, the shingles, the things, the systems that keep the home in good shape. So what you end up with is you end up with a nicely updated system house that is a time capsule from the 70s. So you have the original kitchen, you have the original linoleum floor, you have the original gorgeous green sinks and toilets and the powder blues, like these beautiful, beautiful staples of 1970, 1960 that are still in these homes, but it's got triple pane or double pane, brand new vinyl windows. It's got brand new shingles. It's got all these items that unfortunately you don't get your money back out of at the full amount when you put the money in. So if you buy these kinds of houses, you're winning. So the biggest suggestion I can make to you is just to alter your vision slightly. And what that does is it gets you from looking at the HGTV, DIY network, beautifully staged, everything done, all aspects completed homes, gets you from looking at those to maybe looking at the houses that on first glance don't look very attractive, or that maybe the paint's kind of peeling on the front of the house, or it really needs a new front door, or you look at it and it's got those like mustard yellow carpets, or the like lime or pea green carpets, and the fantastic wallpaper everywhere. Those are the kind of homes you're looking for, because all that kind of stuff is very easy and very cheap to do and makes a world of difference on the resale of that house. These are the kinds of things that flippers look for in properties, but if you buy ones that are in great shape and all they really need is some cosmetic touch-ups, you can afford to pay a little more than a flipper because they need to turn that property for a profit that day, whereas you're just buying it to live in and you want to make some upgrades to build some equity. So the whole aspect of this episode is changing your perspective from buying a perfectly finished home to maybe that home that needs a little bit more work or needs a little bit of updating, needs some prettying up, some fanciness to make it a beautiful home and give you equity in your property from day one, or at least day maybe 71 after the renovations, something like that. So, hope that gives you a bit more perspective on what I consider a wedge deal. If you want more information about that, feel free to reach out to me anytime. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below. Come back and see me again. We'll have some more videos for you here soon. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and we will catch you on the next one.